music producer, you might have images of a mystical figure that floats in and out of a recording studio or makes random appearances in a music video, or in more modern times, a nondescript character hiding behind a set of synths or DJ decks. The reality is the role of the music producer is quite complex and multi-layered, and I'd like to just give you a bit of a brief summary on some of the key tasks and roles that a music producer will undertake during a full music production. To begin with, the producer is quite often the most experienced person in the studio. The reason being is that they've often had experience as a musician, had experience in live performance, maybe in audio engineering and mixing, experience in songwriting, the list goes on. The producer also brings a holistic view to song creation, and many of them have their own signature sound, which is a major contributing factor to the level of demand that they might have in a particular genre. The ability to bring out the best in a recording artist is another critical skill that a producer will often bring. The ability to coach a singer during a grueling recording session and to be able to sense the energy fluctuations throughout and find out, has that singer got something else to give? Have they got something else left in the tank that would help propel the performance to the next level, or to find that ideal take? And I think that coaching aspect extends through to all musicians that might be involved in the project as well. That could be, advising guitarists on how to get a particular sound, or choosing the right equipment to get the right tones. A producer would have had a lot of experience in all of those aspects to help get the results. The producer often wears multiple hats at any given time and really needs to be able to adapt on the fly to make sure the project is going in the right direction. An album that's being recorded for a major label, for example, will often have a large team of professionals involved. Each stage of the project is critical, and it's really the producer's responsibility to make sure that everything is running on time and in the appropriate order of events also. The producer will often be heavily involved in coordinating the recording session times through to rehearsals, through to studio bookings, coordinating equipment hire, or coordinating times for session musicians. When is the session drummer going to turn up, and when's the right time to bring in the session bass player, for example. Whilst there's usually a manager and a booking agent involved, it's really important that the producer works fairly closely with those people to make sure that everyone's on the same page and it's all going in the right direction. In addition to the fun stuff around the musical aspect, the producer will often be well versed in the business side of music as well. This is a fairly important skill set that, I guess, many musicians generally don't get the opportunity to be exposed to that, purely because they would have been focused for many years perhaps on their craft, and business was probably the last thing on their mind. Dealing with label executives, A&R people, studio owners, independent session musicians, various audio engineers, I think a producer not only needs to have good business knowledge and business experience, but they need to have excellent communication skills also. I think the ability to achieve a mutually agreeable outcome in an often complex set of circumstances is a less spoken about topic, and is often the difference between successful album completion, or maybe a production that gets canned halfway through, or maybe a blown budget due to poor negotiations. Depending on their area of expertise, a music producer will often get involved directly in the recording side of things and actually be a contributing artist themselves. The list is endless of classic albums where the producer has featured on the credits as a contributing musician or guitarist, or maybe they've played drums on a track. Many of these situations arise just from the need at the time. You might be in the middle of a really lengthy recording session that's going really fast, and there's a desperate need for a particular sound, and the producer, who's had a lot of experience perhaps in the past, knows how to get a particular sound, and it gets done. The artist is happy, the label's happy, and everyone moves on to the next stage. Ultimately, there are no fixed rules that apply that sort of determine what role a producer plays at any given time. The most important thing is just to keep an open mind, and certainly if you're considering appointing a producer at some time in the future for your own music production, have a good think about what are you looking to achieve. For example, what genre are you working in? What are you expecting the producer to bring to the project? What are your budgets? And all these sorts of things determine what type of producer will be right for you. So certainly do your research and find that right fit. Well, I hope this has given you a good summary on the role of the music producer. Check out my website, mnproductions.com.au. I feature a written blog version of this article each month, and look forward to speaking to you again soon.